Hi, we're here in beautiful downtown Edison, Washington at IE Gallery in order to take a little walkthrough of our exhibit called Reflections on Northwest Coastal Art Forms. That's quite a mouthful, so let's go inside and take a look. We're going to start with an overview, just a quick little review of this exhibit. The piece on the outside was Kevin Paul, local artist of the Swinomish tribe. As we go around the room, we get a slight idea of what's going on here. David Hall is the photographer that we represent here at the gallery. And he has been taking photos along protected coastal waters. The reflections from these photos has reminded him of the form line and the various design forms that are used by the tribes up and down the interior coastal waters of the Pacific Northwest. Here's some more of those photos, examples. So looking at these photos over the last few years, or last couple of years with David Hall, I've decided to put together a show of Indigenous art that uses various incarnations of that form line design. And it's something I very much look forward to doing, was getting more acquainted with the Indigenous artists and their work. Often these two worlds don't collide, unfortunately, but they are starting to more and more. Meaning, of course, the institutional art world of this country and the Native American and First Nations, the Indigenous peoples. Always been excluded, and that's starting to change. So I started with Kevin Paul, who had the first piece that we saw. Since I know him and he's close by, and this is a cedar carving. It's the raven eating the world. Of course, a lot of the Indigenous work is based on different mythology or storytelling from their cultures, various cultures. Let's start with Susan Point here. So Susan Point is Musqueam. I can't pronounce the name of this, but she's a Salish Sea artist, Vancouver Island area. And Musqueam, I think is pronounced. This is a serigraph or silk screen. It's called New Dawn. This is Stage 2. You'll begin to notice how these so-called formline designs change and morph as it goes north and south to the different tribes. This is a beautiful charcoal piece by Amber Spindel, and she's Port Gamble, Musqueam tribe, and it's colored pencil and charcoal, and it is the orca, of course. These various animals were important in different storytelling. The frog, the raven, the orca, the bear. You'll see them over and over again. This gorgeous drum, deerskin, is by Joe Seymour, Squaxin Island, which is down by Olympia. And if we're lucky, Kevin Paul will take it off the wall this weekend on Saturday and play for us and sing during the opening, which will be 4 to 6 p.m. on June 1st. It's our second opening for it because it's a 2-month exhibit. This is another gorgeous Susan Point ancestral memories. We're getting more into the traditional form line here with Dennis Allen. When that terminology first came out, form line, it was coined by Bill Holm, and it referred only to the Haida and the Tlingit. It's called fighting for survival. It's a carving on cedar. Looks like he's using yellow cedar. I'm not sure, yellow cedar, red cedar, it varies. This is a wonderful, what we call it, like a glimpse into some more contemporary breaking away from the traditional Rande Cook. This is called Ebb and Flow. And he is from the nation of the Kwakiutl tribes, which comes from pretty much Vancouver Island. I believe, from what I've read, they were slightly more flamboyant, colorful than the Haida or the Tlingit. And this is carved on dense, medium fiber density board, and it's painted with this great, I guess it's a polyurethane paint. And then here we get to go way out on a limb with this manga Haida, Nicoll, who is Haida, but he's also half Japanese. So he has this great combination of style, the manga comics, along with the Haida form line moving through it. This beautiful piece is called A Very Deep Sea Monster Brought to the Surface. This is about 60 inches high, and it again is by Dennis Allen, who I may have said was Haida, and that's not correct. And forgive me, I'm just learning all of this, so I'm not an expert in any way. I'm just greatly curious and honored to have this work here. Here's another beautiful serigraph. This is by Allie High, Haida and Aleut. It's called Rocky. We have this unframed as well. So the serigraphs are all silk screen. Silk screen was easier. If you're in a simple setting without a press, you've just got a tabletop silk screen. It's a very rudimentary, doable kind of art form to work with. Not art form, but media, I guess. Again, Michael Nicoll, or Manga Haida. Really great piece. I'm going to step back so you can see this beautiful ceremonial mask. It's by it's by Tom Hunt. Same family, same area. I believe he's out of the Kwakiutl nations. Yes. And this is older, it's from the 90s. That's a beautiful piece. Then we've got another great kind of pushing the boundaries contemporary piece by Shaun Peterson. This is, what do you call it? The quick, but I can't remember the name of the medium, glissé. It's a glacé print on aluminum, and then it has plexiglass behind it. So it has this great kind of like reflective quality where it looks very spiffy, shiny, modern, and yet it's this old story of the wolf and the moon. And then back to tradition, we've got a beautiful bentwood box by Dennis Allen. Here we have Preston Singletary, one of his cast glass fish. This one's the Amber Tail Down is the title of it. It's again beautiful use of negative, positive spaces, which is what they were all about. All these different form lines. Sometimes they're just called U-form, ovoid. And Preston, I think, is Tlingit, but he lives in Seattle now. Very well known, of course. Here's a gorgeous bowl. This is Taylor Wily Krise, and it's also a from the Squaxin Island, down by more by Olympia. This type of design went all the way up from the Haida down to the Columbia Basin, and of course all kinds of great variations along the way, which I'm just learning about. This is amber. It's an alder wood. Abalone, not amber, excuse me, abalone. That's called salmon bowl. And I see this as kind of its counterpiece. I love this mask. Tom LaFortune, who's First Nation, Tsawout. I think that's up by Vancouver's, but I'm not 100% sure. Believe it's on the mainland. This is a wonderful title, Man Witnessing Raven Stealing the Sun. It's also alder. It's a gorgeous carving. And then back to, this is a beautiful way that David Hall presented his photograph. Printed on mylar, cut into strips, and then just curtained, hung with magnets. This is one of our favorites around here too. Gorgeous lithograph. It's embossed, and it's so this is unusual in that it's a lithograph. And this is Chopert. I think it's James Chopert. Incredible talent. The original piece that he made was actually a carving 6 feet by 6 feet called Blueberries. And then he eventually did the lithographs. And then we've got, of course, Bill Holmes' book. And lots of information here, and I hope you get a chance to come and enjoy this show. We've got it up for 2 months because we're just excited about having this piece, having all these different artists work in the gallery. And if you can, come by at 4 o'clock on Saturday and come to the reception. We're gonna have wine and some food, and Kevin Paul will sing for us. Thank you.